The Untold Horrors of the Rosewood Massacre. Rosewood, Florida emerged in the early 20th century as a peaceful enclave. Predominantly inhabited by black families, it epitomized community and resilience, thriving quietly amidst the racial tensions of the era. A single, unfounded accusation shattered this tranquility in 1923. A white woman's claim of assault by a black man ignited a fuse, setting neighbor against neighbor in a volatile climate already gripped by racial prejudices. The allegation found fertile ground in Sumner, a nearby white community. What began as whispers quickly morphed into a rallying cry for retribution, exacerbating the racial tensions to a fever pitch. White mobs, consumed by the fervor for vigilante justice, began to form. Their intent was clear: to find and lynch the accused, disregarding any due process. This marked a sinister turn towards lawlessness and hatred. As rumors multiplied and swelled, they fueled a wildfire of violence. The situation rapidly spiraled out of control, transforming into a relentless pursuit not just of one man, but of an entire community deemed guilty by association. As tensions escalated in Rosewood, the African-American residents made the difficult decision to arm themselves in defense of their community. Understanding the gravity of the situation, they stood ready to protect their families and homes. The spark of violence erupted into a conflagration when white mobs, fueled by rumors and intent on lynching, descended on the town. Their arrival marked the beginning of a harrowing assault on the black citizens of Rosewood. The residents, displaying remarkable bravery, mounted a heroic resistance against the attackers. Amidst the chaos and violence, they fought to safeguard their community, demonstrating incredible resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. The media played a dubious role, sensationalizing the violence and adding fuel to the fire of racial animosity. Reports were often exaggerated, painting a biased picture that served only to deepen the divides and escalate the conflict. As the mob's destruction spread, the entire town of Rosewood found itself engulfed in the violence. Homes and properties that had stood as symbols of a peaceful, thriving community were consumed by flames, leaving a legacy of ashes. Families in Rosewood were shattered as they fled their homes to escape the mounting violence. The night was filled with terror as they left behind everything they knew, hoping to find safety in the unknown. Local authorities stood by in silence, making no move to protect the citizens of Rosewood. This inaction allowed the violence to spread unchecked, leaving the black community to fend for themselves against overwhelming odds. Eyewitness accounts from survivors paint a vivid picture of the chaos and horror. They tell of narrow escapes and the loss of loved ones, their stories a testament to the human will to survive against all odds. The aftermath of the attacks was devastating. Rosewood was completely destroyed. Its buildings burned to the ground and its community dispersed. The town that had once been a vibrant, close-knit community was wiped off the map. The survivors were forced into a mass exodus, carrying with them not just the physical scars of their ordeal, but the trauma and stories of Rosewood. They spread across Florida, their history buried with the ashes of their homes. The Rosewood Massacre remained shrouded in silence for decades, a hidden scar on American history. It was as if the violence that razed the town to the ground had also erased it from collective memory. Survivors carried the trauma and their stories quietly, sharing them in hushed tones within their families. This silence was a testament to the fear and the desire to move forward, yet it also spoke volumes about the country's reluctance to confront its past. Interest in Rosewood was rekindled in the 1980s, thanks to determined journalism and investigation. These efforts peeled back layers of time, revealing the depth of the tragedy and the resilience of those who survived. It was a critical step towards acknowledging the horrors of racial violence. The push for recognition and reparations gained momentum, leading to legal battles that sought to bring justice to the survivors and their descendants. This fight was not just about compensation. It was about reclaiming a lost history and dignity. In 1994, the Rosewood Compensation Act became a landmark decision, marking the first time a state government compensated victims of racial violence. This act not only recognized the massacre, but also set a precedent for addressing historical injustices. The 1994 Rosewood Compensation Act marked a pivotal moment in acknowledging the atrocities of the Rosewood Massacre. This landmark decision by the Florida legislature offered reparations to survivors and their descendants, setting a precedent for historical accountability. Education plays a crucial role in preserving the memory of Rosewood. Integrating its story into curricula ensures that future generations understand the gravity of racial violence and the importance of justice and reconciliation in healing wounds. Cultural representations of Rosewood in films, books, and art have significantly contributed to raising awareness about the massacre. These mediums serve not only as reminders of the past, but also as catalysts for dialogue and understanding about racial injustices. The fight against racial injustice continues, with the story of Rosewood serving as a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance and action. Remembering Rosewood is essential in the ongoing struggle to confront and eradicate racial discrimination and violence. Preserving Rosewood's history through museums and historical markers ensures that the tragedy is not forgotten. These efforts help to honor the victims and survivors, keeping their stories alive for future generations to learn from and reflect upon. The significance of oral histories in preserving Rosewood's legacy cannot be overstated. These first-hand accounts breathe life into the past, ensuring that the survivors' experiences and resilience are never forgotten. They serve as a poignant reminder of the human spirit's capacity to endure and overcome, making the stories of Rosewood accessible to future generations. Museums and historical markers play a crucial role in commemorating Rosewood. They offer a tangible connection to history, inviting reflection and understanding. These spaces not only honor the memory of those affected, but also educate the public about the atrocities, fostering a culture of remembrance and learning. The portrayal of Rosewood in cultural artifacts like films, books, and art underscores the massacre's impact on American society. These representations facilitate a broader understanding and dialogue about racial violence, contributing to ongoing discussions about injustice and the need for reconciliation. Comparing Rosewood to other racial massacres in the United States reveals a disturbing pattern of violence and systemic racism. This comparative analysis is vital for understanding the full extent of racial injustice in America and for fostering a commitment to change. The enduring legacy of Rosewood teaches invaluable lessons about racism and resilience. It reminds us of the importance of confronting our past, no matter how painful, to ensure that such atrocities are never repeated. The story of Rosewood is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the ongoing struggle for justice and equality.